Apocalypse Now. Yeah, for real. This is we. And GCP inspired me for real. Yo. Tick, 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 booyah. With this writ, get flipped straight to no more crawling, no more screw up. Who was the amnesty of aid? Now me, I'm mine. God of my chest, I'm Lord of the mind. Our government, stand with the spine of 100 men. At the front line, stand 90 degrees. No fear for machine, man is supreme. We come again. You on your knees, that I recommend that things be revealed. Don't shy at the end, cause we got no beginning but the womb, and she not from here, baby. Check the moon or the tomb or the sun. How about all of the above? Tick, 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 booyah. It's time for we booyah. Here I descend from a prodigy to other me's, cause of them now I gotta be solidly. And I represent right, moving left. Fool everybody but the Moors, cause we made you. Son, I'm a store too. Port of the L, right? Length with height. Home is the base, reach safe, bring your light. Runway the night, Drew circle the 7. Don't know, better start soon. Can't keep it real when your life in the cartoon. Everything came free, but nigga, it'll cost you. Escape with your nation and stay stateless. 14th Amendment, pointless to argue. Time ticks down, you're getting this cheated. Fully mistreated, though steady, just reaping. Not grown, just bleaching what's on with up rooms. Wake up, tick, 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 booyah. With this writ, get flipped straight booyah. No more crawling, no more screw up. Who was? Amnesty of age.
Backing up frauds with cards national. In Northwest, some Ottawa was not my capital. Fez like a Merlin hat, I stay magical. Stand on your birthright square, they label you radical. Flow like libations, every day it's sabbatical. I self-law and master science mathematical. It's tragical, dramatical. This Moorish Othello, I rather black on black, I don't do black and yellow. Compass and square, fair trap, Masonic fellows and matrons. Slew them, not just sodomites and pagans. Most maroons need to stop saying Jamaican and calling Euros American, they are Caucasian.
Me, I'm a 9. Let's try to make a 7 here. Try to make a heaven here. Living in the devil's lair. Freedom is a mental clear. Color is a spectrum. Don't you see through spears? Tunnel mind is a bridge program over there. In the spell with the magi. Medium. Playing good, but they really the bad guys. Feeling them, I'm reeling them. Cause I'm Moorish American. This is our land. And that's what we're inheriting. Tick, 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 booyah. With this writ, get flipped straight to no more crawl, no more screw ups. Who was? Yo. Yeah, it's me, Mr. L. Mr. Bro. Lord, Raw, Cal L. Apocalypse Now. Watch the time tick, tick. Then tick, booyah.
Said black means death, but y'all blind and deaf and can't read truth you can't find. Miss Drew Ali lessons waiting for Jesus. Teaching lies as competence, nigga doesn't mean negus. More doesn't mean black, it means more bite. And high priest of a new, holding the marvelous light. 7 orbs in our palm, we are ancients returned. From the line of roots, skin looks like brass burned. Hair looks like Zoroaster, face of an Olmec. Sundial is my watch, FOH with your Rolex. Major not minority, no clicking heels like Dorothy. Flames on a straw man, no joining their sorority. Great Seal is not Illuminati but Moorish. Disrespect Moors and we might get boorish. We're in our own land fam, don't call me a tourist. I use the floor more, fine tuning my auras. Let them know that I'm back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that I'm back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth. Back for the youth, words coming out of mouth is the truth.
Get your foot up off my ottoman. Empire built for an Ottoman. Never mix me up for them Ottoman. I'm writing with an iron pen. Good life and not a gym. Born in an empire, not in sin. Moorish American, round table, Moorish ordering. I am feminine and masculine. Principle, rights inalienable. So I'm able. Now Cain wants to kill me. Biblical. My brother who pretends to be brotherly. Try to put me back in slavery. Confederate flags under my cherry tree. Washington cut it down, but Washington is still in me. Moors, yo, I speak their tongue, uplift the blind, the deaf, the dumb, and everything is mine, use some. Legislative act, municipal outcomes. Animal farm, I see the reruns. Nation never cared for a president. Trudeau in a turban, that's evident. Major, not minor, that's permanent.
Let them know that I'm back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that I'm back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Let them know that you're back in the booth, back for the youth. Words coming out of mouth is the truth. Invasion. Watch for democracies, hypocrisy, philosophies, fear and shock factories, pseudo-pop mockeries and poppy fields, blocking swinging chops without Moroccan shields, industry demonic, throw reversing spokes and stopping wheels, coffin fields empty, buried in the battlefields, working on the streets is walking in some cattle fields. King Alfred Bruisem, lover mental snoozing, sleepwalking and talking, cell phones are soothing, minds disappearing, genetic memory erasing, don't even have a job but they get you for tax evasion, hot like a frying pan, crying fam lying men, use gadgets spying men, no loyalty just buying friends, no credit debt slaves, walking over paved graves, enslaved, enraged, marriage to death prearranged, Mike Sufi Genie, bomb tracks bikini, stupid niggas call my feds bucket hat when they see me, but won't ask a thing or drink the water that I bring. But when the Pope comes, they kissing on his ring. They rather drink a rapper's flow from the black fountain. Piper got the dead, lined up in the thousands. Confusion with illusions, infusion with sorcery. Won't give up my birthright no matter what they offer me. No deal. Push the red button, I'm going home. Close my eyes, meet Yasanel in Vendome. The fire that we put on home, make their walls shake. Islamism grand chic, not spelled like shake. Open minds, not scarred on when you enter my zone. I wouldn't call it murder when I snap the neck of my clone, trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter. Peter's face the tartar, no making me a martyr. Third eye and larger, aura is my armor. When I plant a seed in man's soil, rhyme farmer. Use the almanac, sorta like an almanac. Keep listening, sleepless hip-hop insomniac. Moorish MC, call me that acquiesce, don't call back, just fall back. Any rapper after 95, all whack. Their flow just trickles like drops on icicles. Rappers need training wheels on their rhymesicles. Keep people's mind pickled in a lost realm. When it comes to Moorish MCs, I'm at the helm. Invasion. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter. Repeat his face the tartar, you know making me a martyr. Third eye and larger, aura is my armor, aura is my armor, aura is my armor. Invasion. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter. Repeat his face the tartar, you know making me a martyr. Third eye and larger, aura is my armor, aura is my armor, aura is my armor, aura is my armor. Invasion.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary. bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Moorish key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts like a dirty Moore or a Drew Ali Craig. Calling them Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Moorish key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts like a dirty Moore or a Drew Ali Craig. Calling them Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like go prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pole magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book are maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence. Ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no veil of shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Peace to all the Moors worldwide. Peace to Barbados becoming a republic. And parting ways with the Queen. That it should have been done, but you know, at least they're trying. But I have a question. When you say republic, what do you really mean when you say republic? Because, you know, some people want to throw stuff around to see who gets the bait. You know, just like the people who caught the bait that they got the mask on in their car by themselves. People who got that bait, the people who are crossing the street so you don't get the stuff from them or they don't give it to you or whatever like that. So are they really throwing this out to get the bait? Or is this real? Because after the more I told you about crisiscast.com, you should probably be looking at things absolutely different. If you never heard about crisiscast.com yet, go check. So we just did a little research. Just a little research. And republics are types. It's not just one concept that somebody says a republic and then that means that they're a republic. Okay, you might be a republic, but what kind of republic are you? What kind of republic are they saying that they are? What is a republic? Remember, we're not going deep. There's just some, put it in Google, see what comes up. You know, because Google's the worst thing ever, and you got to go to the other stuff that they're not monitoring to get the real information because, whatever. A republic is a form of government where the citizens have the supreme power. And they exercise that power by voting and electing representatives to make decisions and govern. Republics come in different forms of government, but a common one is a democracy. And just go online and just put military manual definition democracy and see what comes up when you put that in. If you think that, you know, democracy was something for you, the people and all that stuff, and your government loves you and all that. No, they played you. So you can't be a democracy. So we go to republic. And they just told you what it is, but there's different ones. It's not just one. So let's just check and see what kind of republics there are. Because, you know, that'll probably put things in perspective for you claiming that, you know, you're a republic. Federal republic have divisions like states or provinces that have some autonomy from the national government. The United States of America is an example of a federal republic. You see the example that they use. And then the United States of America includes Canada. But then how come they didn't bring up Brazil and Cuba and all these people who are part of the America like those two? Well, because they're not federal republics. They don't have nothing to do with the conversation. Their backs turned. They don't care what these people are talking about. If they're talking about federal republic, it has nothing to do with them. Unitarian republic. Divisions, if any, are governed as one unit with one legislature For example, Ireland is a unitary republic. And guess what? Barbados is a unitary republic. Go check. So if they're a unitary republic, then that means that they're not governed by the people. And if they're not governed by the people, then that means somebody who called themselves the first female president of the republic, whatever, played you. Because as we know, you're the Aboriginal indigenous people of the land. You're not Negro, black, colored, and all that BS. You're not going to have the harlot Rihanna as a national hero. She's a harlot. How's a harlot a national hero? You tell me all these people from Barbados that did something for Barbados, the national hero is Rihanna, and you're taking this stuff serious? Do you understand the national hero of the Republic of Brazil is one of the whores of Babylon that you call entertainer lady and all that stuff? You playing games. People already whored out your children using these same people, and now they're the national hero. The whore is the national hero. And you're proud. And go check. They're a unitary republic. So the people don't make the decision. And then if you go ask the Bayesian people, nobody voted for this. Who voted for this? What do you mean you're separating from the Queen and anybody, how come nobody asked me anything? But you like news. Because that's how they get us. They get us by making things seem that important when they ain't important. There's nothing. If there's some dark-skinned people and the government is claiming a republic, then those dark-skinned people better would have voted for something to be going on. If they didn't, then their government played them. There's nowhere else to go. They played you. So now what are you going to do that they played you? A majority of them don't know what they do, don't know what to do, because they weren't taught about their nationality and their birthrights and all that stuff, which, we're going to get into with this thing now, right? So that's the unitary republics. Now, Islamic Republic are countries with a theocracy that allow the people power to have a constitution based on Islamic law. Mauritania is an example of an Islamic republic. And all these Negro, black, colored whoever's that say that some European brought them over here on some slave ship to the Americas, all of them when they were in slavery, they were talking about Assalamu alaikum while they're picking cotton and stuff like that. And singing Arabic. If there was a slave trade, the people who were on the ship, there's some Arabic speaking people. Because Arabic was pretty much running the place during that time. You ain't talking any other language. What you got? That trumping that. Because remember, the Islamic slave trade and all that stuff, so that means that Islam was ruling then, right? If some Islamic people put some other dark-skinned people in slavery, that means Islam was ruling, right? So don't be mad. We're claiming our stuff, no problem. We put you in slavery, dragged you across the sands and all that, no problem. We hold that. Our ancestors, they did some messed up stuff. But that's not us. Which is why we always, at all times, without a shadow of a doubt, have to give honors to Noble Drew Ali for bringing us this message about our nationality, so we could know that we're not Negro, black, colored, and all the games that these people have been playing with us for generations. When are we going to wake up and stop doing the dumb stuff our ancestors did, making Europeans so they could have a slave, and now our people are enslaved, and then you're blaming the people who were the first slave? It doesn't go like that. Check the timeline. We're the foundation of everything, good and evil. All the messed up stuff on the planet's going on is because of us. Because of our technological, whatever, BS, making engines and all this stuff. Dumbass, not thinking about the future. Destroying ozone layer and all this stuff. Who you think did that? Some Europeans? What knowledge they got? Please. So if you're going to hold your stuff, hold it. But know that a way out was given to you. And don't forget, I got your aura question. Right? We didn't forget about you. Just in case you think, see, these guys don't answer questions. No, don't worry. We remember you. You don't worry. Noble Drew Ali told us that we're not these things and set up something for us. Right? Now remember, we just went through the example of, it depends commercial. Thanks. Islamic republics. Islamic republics are countries with a theocracy that allow the people power and have a constitution based on Islamic law. Mauritania is an example of an Islamic republic. House Joint Resolution 689. Whereas the Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, Hamites, and Canaanites, who were permitted by the old pharaohs of Kemet to traverse from East Africa and later form themselves kingdoms extending from the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa, the Atlantic islands, and onto the present-day continental Americas. And whereas the indigenous Moorish people of the Americas are now united in order to again link themselves with the family of nations, and whereas the Moorish Americans, being aboriginal to the territories of North, South, and Central America, have formed a sovereign theocratic government guided by the command principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, through virtue of the universal right to self-determination, as well as the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples guaranteed in the Charter. And whereas on January 8th, 1886, Noble Drew Ali was born in the state of North Carolina, destined to become the first patriot of his mentally enslaved Moorish American people. In 1912, he was anointed as El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali by the leaders of Egypt and the holy city of Mecca to return to the United States. As the last prophet and founding father of the newly risen nation of Moorish Americans, as a result of the 13th Amendment, Moorish people were emancipated from slavery in 1865. Therefore, be it resolved by the House of the Representatives of the 97th General Assembly of the State of Illinois that we designate the week of January 8th to 15th, 2012 as Moorish American Week in the state of Illinois. The Moorish Americans, being aboriginal to the territories of the North, Central, and South Americas, have formed a sovereign theocratic government guided by the command principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice through the virtue of the universal right to self-determination, as well as with the declaration of the rights of indigenous people guaranteed in the Charter. cultnews.com. Brian Birmingham, September 20th, 2021. The Moorish Science Temple founded by Noble Drew Ali is the earliest known black nationalist group, but it is not racist. The Moorish Science Temple is this country's first and oldest so-called black nationalist organization, as well as this country's first and oldest black Muslim quote-unquote organization. It was founded in Newark, New Jersey in 1913 by a man named Noble Drew Ali. Not Timothy Drew, not Walter Brister, not Thomas Drew, no. Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali called himself God's prophet, and he presented a book which he said was given to him by an Egyptian high priest. This book is called the Circle 7 Quran. Ali said that he was the reincarnation of Jesus, as well as Buddha, Confucius, and Muhammad. He also claimed that the black nationalist and separatist Marcus Garvey was his John the Baptist, the person who prepared the way for him. This description of Marcus Garvey is stated within chapter 48, line 1 to 3 of the Circle 7 Quran, which is the holy book of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Drew Ali apparently took some of the ideas and teachings of Marcus Garvey and others to create a religion and write religious texts. Ali then presented himself as God's prophet to the United States of America. Noble Drew Ali is an important American historical figure. He was the first leader of a black nationalist group in American history. Ali played the pivotal role in establishing the Moorish Science Temple of America. And without Ali, there would never have been an Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam, or a Louis Farrakhan. The Nation of Islam is essentially a splinter group that broke away from the Moorish Science Temple of America in 1930 after the death of Noble Drew Ali in 1929. Frank Cherry first stated to preach an early version of what we now call Hebrew Israelites' beliefs in the late 19th century, but it was Noble Drew Ali who first explained that Islam was the true religion of the Asiatic, which is a word he used instead of black or Negro regarding African Americans. Now when you go into the rest, he's talking to dirty Moors, and oh my gosh, how do you get to this point? How do you get to this point? And the next best thing for you to do is go ask Dirty Moor some questions. Hour and a half of this Dirty Moor and this modern European talking crazy. And then you could just go to cultnews.com, Moorish Science Temple, founded Noble Drew Ali, and articles there. And then scroll down, and then you'll see the little button, the little link to push to watch the BS with these dirty Moors. Which is the same thing that we say with the package selling people, like how you bump into them. Like how are these the Moors that you're using as the representation for Moors? As if this traitor represents me. I never voted for that traitor. Remember, keep in mind, Islamic republics are countries, which Morocco is a country, and over here, North America, is Morocco, if you didn't know. What they call United States of America and Canada and Greenland and all that stuff. All that. Nothing. Nothing north is Canada and the United States. That's just what it is, under debate. Over here is Morocco. Countries with a theocracy. Countries with a theocracy that allow the people power. That allow the people power. Why? Because the people's power is the same thing that these modern Europeans are talking about in the House resolution that gives them the right to self-determination, as well as the Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People guaranteed in the Charter. I know somebody going to tell you, once you're going by the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and you're guided by the command principles and the universal right of self-determination, and you got a nationality, then what else is there to do other than for your nation? And everything that you do is going to be for the nation, so you better be doing the stuff under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, because you're a representative of the nation. Because the people's sovereignty. It's the people's sovereignty. Sovereignty doesn't belong to the heads of the whatever, who when you push the link, you're going to see how crazy these people are talking about Moors. That, yeah, we represent all the Moors, but, certain Moors are, what do you mean? I thought you represent all Moors. Which one is it? Which one is it? We have the right to self-determination. The right to self-determination is what makes it an Islamic Republic. And then the people are the ones who say, yeah, you know what? More Avengers. Those are the ones who are the ones, nobody can argue with those ones. No one. No one could bring argument. Everyone in there is top shelf. Matter of fact, they have their own shrine or whatever. They're not even all on the same shelf. It's indisputable. And it's going to hit you. Eventually it'll hit you. Eventually it'll hit you. And what it is that he brought. Going back again to the power of nationality and what that would have in making your aura your armor. Because we know Moors who they sent the writ. The court called them to tell them there's no court tomorrow, everything's dismissed. That's aura is your armor. Have a thought, turn left instead of right, and then truck comes barreling down, goes through the light right where you were going to be if you were to turn the other way. That's aura is your armor. And we've been aura is your armor even as black guys. Because as black guys, we're into the metaphysics. As black guys, we know that, you're going to do the ritual on the car before you even get in. Because, no license, no this, no that, all this madness. You're not thinking about right to travel or nothing like that. We're thinking not get stopped. How can we not get stopped? How about we do some rituals on the car? How about we do some rituals on the car? And real crazy ones. Rituals worked. Missed the pole by this much. Like looking at it in slow motion, it's like, oh, he actually missed the pole. Right? The armor's like that. So it was a real thing. It wasn't just some, you know what I mean, cool line in a song or whatever. Like, it's a real thing. Right? And everybody has it. It's just, you know, like you said, you heard it? Hey, what the hell do you mean by that? Okay, break it down. This is what it means. And everybody has that. Everybody has the aura armor. Everybody has that time when they put their hand out there and they stop the thing in midair. You didn't know what you were doing, but it's a real thing. You know, 1-inch punch and all that stuff. If you do that, your aura is armor. If you get 1-inch punch a man. You know? If you do the handstand push-ups on your fingers. Or it's crazy. Or it's crazy. You know? So it's a real thing. Don't think that it's not real. So what is a theocracy? Government of a state by the immediate direction of God, or by the assumed direction of a supposititious divinity, or the state thus governed. Right, government of a state, the state governed. The governor are the people. Because again, we got the lesson that every man's supposed to be, at this point, be himself a priest. He ain't supposed to be relying on somebody for some stuff. You're supposed to snap and make fire by yourself. You don't need somebody to, let me just borrow some sparks off you. You're supposed to make the fire. You're supposed to be making the fire by now. Right? He brought everything that it takes to save a nation. Told us, take it, save ourselves. Okay? Look again. That's why we say no trolleys to man. That's why we say no trolleys to man. Right? That's why we say no trolleys to man. Yeah. Moorish Temple of America. Right? Holy Quran. Circle 7, the Moorish book. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the Prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, that the world may hear and know the truth, that among the descendants of Africa there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days for the redemption of the sons of men under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We, as a clean and pure nation, descended from the inhabitants of Africa, do not desire to amalgamate or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, neither serve the gods of their religion, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religious creed for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. Therefore, we are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nations as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation. Now, at paragraph 6, he's talking about we as a clean and pure nation. I thought this was an incorporated organization. Or is he talking to two different states? Let's back up. Government of a state. Government of a state. Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporation. Moorish Nation. Those are states. Not the geography. Those are states. In the Moorish Science Temple Incorporation state, you're theocratic. You're not organization. You have constitutional obligations as Moorish Science Temple of America. You're not a church. I thought you just said he's giving the church back. How is he giving the church back and then you're still playing like church, like this church, sing hymns to Noble Drew Ali? Why are they singing hymns to Noble Drew Ali when this is a theocratic government? Why are you passing Moorish Science Temple of Americas and you're thinking that that's a church? When Drew Ali in his own words said we give the church back. We give the church back. But they want to hold on to the church. And Drew Ali told him, "You Moors going to come with eyes open and see you Moors in the back." You know. And carry out what's supposed to be carried out because we're a nation. We're not an incorporated organization. That's not what this is. So these are states. Us being a nation and us being an incorporated organization. So choose your state. You choosing your state, that's self-determination. Because you're making that decision, right? You know what I mean? Noble Drew Ali said all Moors are active, not passive. So if you're a Moor, that would mean that would be active. And active doesn't mean, run down the street, with your fez on down the middle of the street to prove a point that we're Moors. Right? Active means knowing yourself, knowing who you are, and living according to the principles. If you don't violate love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, you shouldn't have any issues. No matter what you're doing. Because, you violate one, then the next one's up. You can't go back and all that stuff. So you have two mess ups more before justice happens. I would work on trying to get some credit to get that love back. So, you can start at the beginning again. Because you don't want to be in the deficit. You want to violate all the principles and then you're tiptoeing, trying to not fall into the justice pit. Because he told you that you were a nation. Playing church, sitting there with worms. How you representing me and you have worms in your stomach? And your stomach is just huge. Huge. Your stomach is huge, you just have to lean back. You're my representative? How? Yeah, you can see in the language that it's different. The last 4 chapters. It's not that talk like, it's not that Aquarian gospel unto thee I grant Bible talk. Foreseeth the believeth of the meeth and all that stuff. It ain't that. Which is where the whole thing with the prepared comes from. Because nothing's wrong with Unto Thee I Grant and Aquarian Gospel. Ain't nothing wrong with those books. It's not. People who try to diss Noble Drew Ali make you think that those books are negative. Ain't nothing wrong with them books. You ever read those? Probably read those. Just so you can see where Noble Drew Ali plagiarizes and stuff from and all that. And then the 4 chapters, again, what we just read, telling you give their stuff back. Because now you got it in his form. Now your prophet brought you. Same stuff that they got. What you need them for if he brought you everything that they got? What you need them for? They become unimportant. Because he brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Not to save it incorporated, all that stuff. Save a nation. And you're supposed to take it and save yourself with it. Just like you're supposed to put on your stuff first. And then make everybody. Because you're useless. Be useful. And the most useful you could be is knowing about your nationality and birthrights and then applying whatever it is that you know. Or you claim you know. You claim you're the captain tree cutter guy. All right. I bet you when you start cutting those stuff off on a turban, it'll be a whole different thing. And I bet you that you've been wrapping your t-shirt around your head or whatever while you're doing that, which was a turban. So what do you mean you don't know about your nationality and birthrights when you're dressing up like a Moor and all this? Come on now. That's all we need to do. Get on the nationality. And Drew Ali set the stage. Set it up. All you got to do is move the piece. Boop. Checkmate. That's all you got to do. But nah, you got to go over here, move this one and check. What are you doing? What are you doing? He brought everything it takes to save a nation. That's why they never told you about him. What do you think you never know about Noble Drew Ali? Oh yeah, Canaanland Moors 12th annual Noble Drew Ali Day. We're gonna be getting the flyer out soon. It's gonna be a good session once again. It's gonna be a good session once again. Peace and love to all. Remember, honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, all times. So we wanted to make sure that is clear. That yes, separating from the Queen, yes. If the people don't have a say, there's a problem. There's a problem. And of course, once the people, like we were talking about yesterday, once the people are stateless, well, no wonder these people are doing whatever that they want. No wonder. Because the so-called citizens who are claiming that, they have a say, don't even have a say. They set up a unitary republic on them, took away all the people's stuff. So see how it goes. Now, and of course, I'm sure there's some, like when we go back to the, right, presidential republic, type of government run using a presidential system where the president heads the nation. This type of republic can be unitary or federal. Algeria uses a presidential republic, right? So, in all these, if you have somebody honorable, and they're really for the people, then you gotta worry about nothing. But most of these people, they don't have your best interests at heart. You want to talk for yourself. You want somebody talking for you that you didn't vet them first to see, hey, hold on a second, let's just see who you are that's claiming you're representing me. You don't get any say. You just got to go with it. That's not the form of government you want. I'd rather self-determine. I'd rather there be no government. And the people act accordingly. Of course, there's going to be muftis out there. You get your hand chopped off if you got crazy, touching little children and stuff like that, Because the people have to raise themselves to a certain standard. So I drew Ali again. Came to make our people better citizens. Came to make our people better citizens. And all the lessons are going to do that. Right. Parliamentary republic. The government run by a parliament system. You have a parliament and a prime minister leading the nation. Parliamentary republics are both unitary and federal. India is a parliamentary republic. So where you want to be is where Drew Ali's at. And we told you that these modern Europeans already know that the Moors are a theocratic sovereign government. They know this. So either you act like you're that or you're their ward. You're their property. And that's just what it's going to be. Because one more, we need to let you know that they know what's up. And however they're portraying this to you, or however you're taking this Moorish thing, like people get locked up or people get arrested or something like that, like I don't know who you've been talking to. You got to buy some exemption thing, 800 and whatever. Nah. You got to check your master teachers. Those are robbers. Those are Moors. Those are Moors. They got their Benz truck and all that. And they're telling you eight grand for a drink. A drink with their label on it. 8,000. Just a soda. Like 8,000 for a soda? Don't get played. Study your rights. Study about your Moorish nation. Because it's the history is hidden, but it's also being revealed. So don't get it twisted. Like you can't find out some stuff. Because Moors are finding out some stuff. These Moors out here, these Moors would be finding out some stuff that, again, the aura has to be resonating to be able to pick up on the frequency of a book. A book that as soon as you pick it up, is right. Open it up, it's on the page that you're looking for. Once you get on the frequency of this info, it's a different level. But you have to know the truth about your nationality and birthrights. And know that Drew Ali was brought for you to be better. You thought you were good, you were good. Horrible. You could be better. And the nationality is going to do that. Yeah, Moors have crazy stuff that would go viral. If Moors played this go on camera stuff. Right? Had some crazy conversations with highwaymen, with judges, with whatever. Crazy that you know, professor at university, just dealing with Moors. Just dealing with Moors. Your mind will be blown. Some crazy stuff that happens with Moors. Just because they know that they're Moors. And, you know, because they were a Moor, they were able to partake in this stargate, this vortex opening up and getting to step through it. And nobody else was there to see or hear. Only because he had a fez or turban on. Someone said, let me show you something. Real ones. So, you know, this is not fairy tale. When we say Moorish nationality and Noble Drew Ali, and we put his picture up. Right? We put him up. And you're seeing something that is different. It's not the average black guy sitting in a chair. There's something different. You see it and you feel it and you know that something's different here. This is not, it's not lining up with who we are as a people. There's supposed to be some kente cloth guys. But then when you look at the bigger picture, and you realize that it's all of it. It's the Egyptian stuff. It's the Hebrew stuff. It's the Hindu, the Islamic, all of it. And to have all these Moors like this, no wonder. No wonder they would put a lid on it. No wonder they would put a lid on it. It makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the ones who sold it out for the lid to go on. Because the lid wouldn't go on if these people didn't sell out. They stuck to the program that this is about birthrights, nationality. You know, no, we don't want the stuff in the vault and all that. We don't want the vault handouts. You want the people to be free. That's why they don't want you to know. Because if you know you have your own government, your own constitution, your own flag, your own headwear, all the things that it takes to be a nation, you have that, I'm sure people would do something with it. No way. There's no way that these people get their birthrights and they're going to do some dumb stuff. I can't see it happening. Because the majority of people, they found out about this, it changes their life. They're a changed individual. For the better. Not some negative change. Not that negative is bad, but there's people that applied this to their life and they saved their marriage and all types of stuff. And just because you ask any more, man, there's the noble Drew Ali because of whatever, and then they go into their soapbox on what Drew Ali did for them. They have Moors who set it up that, they can't do anything wrong because everywhere they look at their house is a picture of Noble Drew Ali looking at them. So they don't get a chance. Everywhere they look, eyes just looking at them. You better be doing right. Because they are trying to violate first principle. They are trying to be close to violating that. They want to be so far from violating first principle that, again, their aura is their armor. Got any questions, put it in the chat. Yeah, but Noble Drew Ali's the man, we could leave even the Prophet off and just call him Noble Drew Ali. It'll still have the same impact. Still have the same impact. So don't get scared because we talk about prophet and all that stuff, and now you're thinking some religious thing. It's definitely not religious. This is the theocratic, self-determination, jurisdiction. Once you're living by the principles, you shouldn't have any issues. Everything should be straight. There should be no issues. If you have issues, it's probably because some nigger stuff that you're trying to use the Moorish stuff to get out of the nigger stuff you got yourself into. And oil and water don't mix. I don't care how you blend it up, it's going to separate. So, know that Moorish nationality and knowing the truth about what that is all dependent on you and what you're going to do. Because what you're going to do with what you got. Because Moors who been studying, they already know what's up. Moors who got El Bayt de Al Ali already, they already know what's up. dirty or otherwise. You already know. It's the six of you out there. The six of you. We're going to say, yeah, that actually. Hey, I wonder where I can get more. rvbaypublications.com. Just go there. Just go there. And jump off the platform. Just go there and jump off the platform. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. If not, we give honors to the Prophet Drew Ali. We give honors to all the Moors worldwide. All the Moors worldwide. We give honors to you. We give honors to all the mothers. All the mothers. With child or not, honors to you, mother. And again, honors to Drew Ali. Drew Ali's the man. That's why they never told you about him. You know Drew Ali's the man. Study him. There's some good info out there that they reference him. Just study Drew Ali. Honors to all the Moors worldwide, all the Moors in the chat. I didn't get the wave today. I know you guys like the wave. You like the wave. But Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love to all the Moors. Islam.